This year, New Jersey will say goodbye to a big name in higher education. Essex County College President A. Zachary Yamba, the state's longest-serving college president, is retiring. Senior correspondent Marie Denoya Aronson reports on the life, times, and tenure of President Yamba.
Today is the first day of the fall semester at Essex County College. For Dr. A. Zachary Yamba, this is his last first day and his final semester. For the past 41 years he has walked this campus. For nearly 30 of them, he has been the college president.
How did you do?
Good, Dr.
You passed everything?
Yeah,
You sure now?
Passed everything for the summer, Dr. Yamba.
Are you going to graduate?
You know it, in January, Dr.
In January?
Yeah.
His leadership years have been defined by overwhelming challenges, financial, academic, and political, and by his unyielding approach to overcoming them.
My plan was to tackle them one at a time. I mean, because really for the institution to fail really was not an option.
At the time of his appointment, first as interim in 1980, then officially in February 1981, the college was in turmoil. It had only been operating for 13 years, and by then 4 presidents had already come and gone.
The word was that I probably wouldn't last 6 months, a year max.
And if it should endure for 1,000 years, generations not yet born will declare that the time of A. Zachary Yamba was Essex County College's finest hour. Behold the man.
His last day is scheduled to be December 31st. How involved will he be post-retirement? Well, Dr. Yamba says he will contribute as an informal advisor, and he'll continue to be a member of a number of non-profit boards. But he says for at least the first 6 months, his plan is to chill out. Marie Denoya Aronson, NJN News, Newark.
I will miss his support. I will miss that he is a president that you can approach and talk to, and he listens and he responds. I will miss his leadership and his friendship.
I was surprised that he knew my name, who I was, but I've only been here for a short period of time, and he thought enough to congratulate me at that point in time, and it was really my first meeting with Dr. Yamba. It was on the elevator, congratulate me being a full-time employee at the college. I won't forget that because I was impressed the fact that he, of all the people in the college, all the people, he actually remembered my name.
Dr. Yamba's more like, I don't have my father, so I see him as that type of mom. Although, sorry, I can't do this.
If I had to basically choose a brother, it would be none other than Zach.
His greatness preceded him outside of the state, everywhere in the country. I had an opportunity to be at maybe 6 professional meetings before I actually met him. I'd heard his name everywhere. And people that I knew who were in the Newark area would often speak of the college, and they would speak of Zachary Yamba.
What's so special to me about my grandfather is that he's always willing to do whatever you ask him to do, and he always knows what to say.
The impact my father had on me growing up was astronomical. I idolized my father. I thought he was the strongest, smartest, the biggest, and I remember looking at him as he mowed the lawn and thinking that his muscles were really big in his arms. And I had a birthday party, I think I was 6, and I wanted my father to take his shirt off so that all my friends could see his muscles. And I kept pestering him, like, Daddy, Daddy, take your shirt off. When are you gonna take your shirt off? And he kept telling me like a little bit later. He never said no though, but he kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And I didn't realize until I must have been at least maybe 12 or 13 before I realized that my father was small in stature. I thought he was big, muscular, like Mighty Mouse. But I didn't think of him as mousy. I thought of him as like the cartoon characters with all the muscles and they pop out. That's how I saw him.
My first impression when I met Zachary was probably in the late 70s. He wasn't president at the time. And I met him through my friend Connie Woodruff, who was here at the college. And it was simply that he was just a nice guy. There was nothing so outstanding, but when you're introduced to people and you have a chance to see them from time to time, which I did as I was coming over to see Connie here at the college, and he would come into her office and say hello to all the ladies that were there, give us all a kiss on the cheek. We all liked him. We all thought he was just a really nice guy. I was not thinking at that time of any future relationship, any future spouse, any future anything with him. He was just a nice guy to be around, and I liked that.
My daddy has taught me how to be such a wonderful person. The impact on my life that he has made has been tremendous. My father has taught me how to be a wonderful parent. He's taught me kindness and perseverance. It's a wonder that he was able to get us to and from play dates and be on time for the carpool. But he's given me a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful experience as a parent myself.
Well, my father has always had a great impact on me, physically, mentally, and spiritually. He's always taught us to do right.
Before I met my father-in-law, I really didn't have any expectation of what this individual would be. But initially, as any boyfriend would think, you're the target pretty much, because now you are dating and you're the love interest of his baby daughter. So initially I was a bit, I wouldn't say apprehensive, I wouldn't say scared, but I was uneasy because I did not know how I would be received. And contrary to my initial thoughts, there was no coldness, there was no standoffishness. He was very warm, open, in the same regards as he is now. Very genuine, very warm, very loving. And what you see is what you get. Dr. Yamba's a straight shooter, so it's a good thing he liked me then and pretty much likes me now.
Doc has impacted all of our lives by providing guidance as well as support in any endeavors that we seek to reach out to. Whether it's actually going to law school, such as myself, he assisted me with that, or Sukaina, continuing furthering her education. So he's been a provider of support and guidance throughout the 15 years plus that I've known him.
And then one day, as I was passing a college, and I looked over towards the college, and I thought to myself, I wonder when Zachary's coming back. And then it's almost as if I caught myself and I thought, what do you care when he's coming back? It was surprising to me. I went to the office, I sat down, I had a cup of coffee thinking, why did you think that? Nothing prompted it, I just thought it. Of course, once I thought it, then the thought was there. And I found myself looking forward to him returning. And I know he had planned a cookout. He used to have these fabulous cookouts, end of the summer cookouts. And I look forward to seeing him there. And I didn't say anything, but I did.
Pop-up is special to me because he inspires me to do the best I can. And whenever I'm trying to get good grades or something, or if I do get a good grade, I'm always excited to tell him about it, especially because I know he'll be proud and stuff.
I call Doc because when he first married my mother, I wasn't sure to call him Dad. Dr. Yamba just seemed too long for me, so I started calling him Doc. Just D-O-C, which actually means Dad of Coolness, so he never really knows that until now, but Doc just seemed to fit him. To me, he's just the Dad of Coolness.
After 22 years, I still like him. You move from liking and friendship to love, but I still like him as a person. And I think that makes a difference, that you're sharing something. Of course, as husband and wife, you share a lot of things, but as a person, I still like him. You know, he's just a great guy, and I like that. I think it makes the relationship stronger. It's easier to, when we were raising the kids when they were younger, we could sit in the evening, and especially the early years of our marriage, blending two separate families, that is not the easiest task to do. And we would sit in the evening when everybody was settled down, and we would talk about, see, the kids are out here, they're trying to get us, but we know better.
I owe my professional career to Dr. Yamba. I came to work here 25 years ago with a bachelor's degree. Dr. Yamba, I think, saw potential in me. He encouraged me to get my master's degree. He encouraged me even more to get my doctoral degree. And at that point, he talked to me about moving up into a key position in the institution. And my professional career would not be what it is today if it wasn't for Dr. Yamba.
I've always wanted to teach, so when I decided to ask for a transfer to the business division, he was really the first one I talked to about it. And but he was always there for me, always very supportive. If I needed to talk to him about anything, he was always there.
I see him as this solitary soldier on this journey that seems as though his role in life is just to reach out and help the undeserved. I can't do it.
When I think of my papa, I think of a father figure because he's very supportive in anything that I do. He's always there for me, and I love him more than anyone else I can think of.
You know, I've tried my best to model myself after Dr. Yamba. And, you know, when I think about how the patience that he has and the diplomacy that he has, I recognize how it's almost an unattainable goal to be like him. His approach to things, his diplomacy, the way he keeps the balance both internally and externally is incredible, and it's really the strength that he brought to the institution. It's a 24/7 job that he has. He has to keep all of the different personalities and craziness that's going on within the institution and all of the personalities and egos and craziness that's going on outside of the institution in balance and in check. And that's a tremendous, tremendous talent that he has.
As a leader, Dr. Yamba is somebody who I want to be. He truly is a leader in all capacities. He knows his students, he knows his faculty, he knows his staff. He interacts with people on a personal level. He really gets to know who his people are and who his students are and genuinely cares about them. And that's something a true leader does.
He's manned a huge ship. That takes incredible skills dealing with so many different personalities. Not many people can do that. Essex has been the subject of attack for a number of reasons, for its location, for its students, for its programs, and through it all, he has managed to make it shine. His determination and dedication to this institution is incredible. He's made it his life. He had no other agenda but making Essex County College a success. That will be missed.
My pop-up's special to me because he does what he says, and it doesn't take him a long time to do it.
The impact that A. Zachary Yamba had on my life, I will not begin to do justice to it if I try to describe it. A. Zachary Yamba shaped the 19-year-old boy to the man that I am now.
One of the qualities that I would like to take from Dr. Yamba is his dedication. Not that I'm not dedicated, but that's a man that's really super, super dedicated. And I would like to take that quality.
Without thinking about it, like if my mother says that, oh, we're going to see Pop-Up today, I get really excited because every time I see him, he gives me like this big hug to let me know that he's like wonderful and he'll always be there for me.
I became president at Hudson County Community College in 1992. And this was a challenged institution. And everyone told me the person I needed to look up to make a mentor was Zach Yamba. That Essex was one of the community colleges in an inner city that really worked. And you know, what I've always found, Zach is kind of like Bing Crosby. You know, Bing Crosby could sing those songs and make it look so easy. And that's what Zach Yamba, you know, he's made being a president so easy. And I really am in quite of awe of his accomplishment. You look at the number of years that he's been there, the number of students, literally if you counted them, I think you'd find several 100,000 people have gone through Essex County Community College. When you think that they have mothers and fathers and husbands and daughters, and the number of people he's impacted is just really impressive. He's been a role model for me. I really admire him tremendously.
My pop-up is special to me because he really cares about my education and how I do in school.
I had the opportunity in 1995 to meet Zach Yamba for the very first time when the Newark schools were taken over by the state of New Jersey. I was Assistant Commissioner of Education, and one of the things we wanted to do was to reach out to people that understood the city and, more importantly, were trusted. And Zach's name was one that we heard right from the very beginning. I had the opportunity to talk to him and got great insight about what was occurring in the schools and what needed to happen. And as a result of that, we, I think, gained a great deal from his relationship and the relationship he had within the city. 2 years later, who would believe that I would become the president of Salem Community College, and Zach became a colleague. And I saw him from a different perspective, not certainly a strong commitment in education, but I understood his leadership and, most importantly, his pride in the success of his students. I think if there's any one thing that I will always remember is no matter what was happening in the state of New Jersey, how community colleges were being treated, he always centered it on what is best for the students, not only of Essex County, but also throughout the state. So he is a gentleman, more importantly, an individual who has great pride in what happens, and I believe that no matter where he will be, the imprint of Zach Yamba in Essex County will be lived on for many years to come.
This summer past, myself and my family, we endured a tragedy. It's rough. We had a rough summer. And I was just about, preparing for the upcoming semester. And I also was coming into the position of the president of the Student Government Association. So coming in with that kind of pressure and circumstance hovering over my head was a pretty hard time. And I was bearing the decision of, should I come back? The faculty at Essex County College are more like family in a sense. And that too, Dr. Yamba. He had a personal hand in passing on not just his condolences, but assisting me in ways that helped me to want to come back and feel at home. It was almost therapeutic. Not only did he send a message of his condolences, but he met with me personally, and he gave me a little talk to, which was a big thing for me, having someone of that status to take the time out for a student.
I came to New Jersey from California, and even before I got to New Jersey, I had heard of Zach Yamba. His leadership was evident across the country. People know of his role at Essex and the contributions that he's made to literally hundreds of thousands of students. And when you think about that, when I think about that in my own role, I think, it's something I aspire to. It's something I never actually expect to achieve. So to watch somebody who's done that is really remarkable. If there's a question or an issue, he's faced it before, usually more than once. He's wise, but he's also kind, and he shares his wisdom, and I think all of us really appreciate that. Legendary, I think, really is the word that comes to mind. To have that kind of relationship with a college over that length of time.